This video is to demonstrate the VLOOKUP function, where the range lookup is an approximation. The example that's constructed here has a list of customers, the amount of dollars that they've spent during a promotion period, and what we want to do is look those dollar amounts up in a rewards redemption lookup table to determine the reward certificate value to which they're entitled and return that value to our original table. Now, the reason that we say this is VLOOKUP with the range as an approximation is that the lookup values are going to be within a range of values. So, for example, the $325 will be within a range of values, $200 to $499.99. So we're not going to have an exact match for the lookup value, but we do have that value within a range of outcomes, and we want to specify the reward certificate to be returned for that range of spending. So let's begin the VLOOKUP function. We're going to start in cell C61, which is where we want the looked up value to be returned, and we're going to type equals VLOOKUP, begin parenthesis. The first argument is the lookup value. So we want to look up the value that's in column B. So we're going to click on cell B61, comma. The second argument in our function is the table array. So we need to specify the array where the values reside, and we are going to click and drag over these two columns of the table. Notice that I'm not including the column headings here, nor am I including the range specifications. Really, this range is just for my own understanding, but what we do want to include are the dollars spent at the bottom of the range and the reward certificate value. And now we'll type a comma. Now, the column index refers to the column within the array that contains the value that we want to return. And so notice that within this array we have two columns, and we're going to return column 2, the reward certificate value. So I'm going to type the number 2. And then the last argument is the column index. The range lookup. Alright, this is where we need to specify whether we're looking up an approximate match, which means we're looking up a value within a range of values, or we're looking up an exact match. And in this case, we are looking up an approximate match. Alright, so we're going to double click true and type an end parenthesis. This last argument, by the way, is optional. If it's left blank, the default is true, which means the default is an approximation. And now if I hit enter, we can see that for $325 worth of spending, that falls in the range as specified here in the second row of the lookup table, and we're returning reward certificate value of 10, which is correct. So now we want to take that VLOOKUP function and we want to copy it down. Before we do that, we're going to highlight the range of the array up here in our formula edit bar, and we want to anchor that so that when we copy the formula down, the array stays on those cells. And the easiest way to do that is just to click on the F4 button, and that will put dollar signs in front of each element of the array address. So it puts dollar signs in front of each of those, and we'll hit enter. And now we can take that formula and we can copy it down. We're just going to grab the fill handle here on the bottom right corner of the cell, drag that down. So let's see if it's working. We have James Johnson spent $2,310. If we look that value up in our lookup table, the 2,310 is in this row, and it's returning a value of 25, which is correct. Now, the thing that's tricky about the approximation is how to specify the first column of the array. And notice that what we're doing here is we're specifying the bottom of the range. So the way the true option works is that if an exact match is not found for the lookup value, the next largest value that is less than the lookup value is used. So what that really means is that if you have a range of values, the first column in your lookup array needs to be specified as the value that's at the bottom of that range. So this demonstrates how to use the VLOOKUP function where the range lookup is an approximation.